Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself I am Logus Jogi. I have completed MSc in Agriculture, Seed Science and Technology, Specialization Seed Science and Technology from HNB US Central University Srinagar, Uttarakhand in 2020. I have got 52 rank in PhD program Seed Science and Technology from Indian Council of Agricultural Research ICR All India Entrance Examination for Admission in 2021. Today I am going to tell about the topic seed production of fruit vegetables, cucurbits. This is the largest group of summer vegetables. The following are the important vegetable in the groups. Common name, botanical name: cucumber, Cucumis sativus, bitter gourd, Mamordica cranesia, bottle gourd, Legionnaria cicereria, wrist gourd, Lupha acutagula, sponge gourd, Lupha cylindrica, snake gourd, Trichosanthus inguinea, Indian Sucus Citrulus vulgaris var. Festulosus, long melon, Cucumis mello var. Asticemia, musk melon, Cucumis mello, watermelon, Citrulus vulgaris, pumpkin, Cucurbita moschata, summer squash, Cucurbita pepo, winter squash, Cucurbita maxima. Seed production technique in cucurbits. Land requirements: there are no land requirements as to previous crop, but the land should be free of volunteer plants. Generally, the soil should be well drained and irrigated. Isolation requirements: most of cucurbits are monoecious in character and a few are dioecious. A number of hermaphroditic and Andromonoecious cultivators are also available in some crops. Pollination is largely done by insect for pure seed production, and isolation distance all around seed field is necessary to separate it from fields of other varieties. Fields of the same variety not conforming to varietal purity requirements for certification. From wild cucurbits species and to separate muskmelon from long melon and vice versa, and pumpkin from summer and winter successes and vice versa as follow. Foundation seed classes 1000 meter, certified seed class 500 meter, minimum distance meters. Source of seed: plant the seed crop from nucleus or breeders or foundation seed from source approved by certification agency. Brief culture practices: rogging, harvesting and extraction of seed and seed yield and cucurbits. Cucumber: sowing time north summer January to February, Kharif June to July, south October to November. Seed rate 2 to 5 kg per hectare. Planting: there are two general methods of sowing cucumber. A. Hills are prepared at proper spacing by adding well-rotted farmyard manure, and a number of seeds are sown on each hill. B. Furrows are made at row-to-row spacing. Two characters and seeds are sown on the edge of the furrow 60 to 90 cm apart on both sides above the water level, so that the water is issued by capillary movement. 2 to 3 seeds may be sown in each place. Manuring: it is difficult to recommended fertilizer application that can be adopted under the situation. However, the following schedule may be adopted. A. 30 tons of well-rotted farmyard manure at the time of the land preparations. B. A mixture of 125 ammonium sulfate CANR, 150 kg superphosphate and 50 kg sulfate of potash should be prepared and mixed at 500 gram per feet while preparing that width for sowing. C. Top dressing with 100 kg ammonium sulfate or CAN at the time of following. Thinning. When the seed it is sown in hills, the plants should be thinned so that more than 3 plants are left standing on each hill. When sown along the furrow, the plants at each place are thinned to 1 or 2. Irrigation and interculture. The number of irrigations depends upon the number of rainy days. The crop normally requires irrigation after 8 to 10 days. The beds should be kept from of weeds, especially in the early stage. Later on, rapidly spreading vines suppress to the weeds. It is desirable to stack this crop during the rainy seasons. Sex expressions and sex ratio. The sex expression and sex ratio are varietal characters. They are, however, modified by the environment. Lower fertility, higher temperature, longer light period all induce maleness. Certain gases and chemicals also affect sex. Both auxin and antioxin at proper concentration modify sex. Gibberellin acid at higher concentration induce maleness, but at the lower concentration of 10 to 25 ppm increases to number of female flowers, 2 spheres, one at a 2 leaf stage and again at 4 leaf stage with 25 to 100 ppm malic hydrized, 100 ppm of alpha naphthalene, acetic acid, 3 ppm of ethyl, 3 ppm of boron and 3 ppm of molybdenum and suppresses the number of male flowers and increase the number of female flower fruit set and ultimate yield. Insect and disease control. Insect. A red pumpkin beetle control measures. The pest can be controlled by dusting 5% malathion dust or spray with metacid 1 teaspoon in 1 bucket. Simple dusting with kerosinized also helps. B. Fruit fly. It can be checked by collecting and destroying the affected fruit and spraying with Nuven half and teaspoon in the bucket. C. Aphids spray malathion or folidol. D. Cutworms. Make circular bands with BSC dust around the plants. Disease. A. Downy mildew. Dust the crop with tribasic copper sulfate 5% copper contents at 20 to 25 per hectare yearly in the seasons and 45 to 60 kg per hectare when the vines are larger. B. Powdery mildew. Dust Cerathens morescens to control the disease. C. Angular leaf spots. Spray the plants with streptocycline formulations at 400 ppm. Rogging. The removal of ties plants is an important task to avoid by should be carried out before flowering and natural cross-pollinations and occurs. However, in practices it is rather imprecise to determine the rogue is in cucumber prior to fruit development. Note 1. Disease downy mildew. Dust the crop with the tribasic copper sulfate 5% copper contents at 20 to 25 kg hectare yearly in the seasons and 45 to 60 kg per hectare when the vines are larger. Rogging. Any plants with off-type fruits should be removed from the fields as soon as it is noticed in order to prevent and any further contaminations by its pollen. Since plants of one variety have the some spine color white or black, any plant having to wrong color should be rogged. Later, when the fruits are fully mature, any plants which are of types in spine color are easily distinguished because of the striking difference in the fruit color as already described. While the removal of the plant at that time is helpful in that it prevent the mixture of its seed with the rest. Considerably, cross-pollination may have already occurred and will result in off-type plants in succeeding generations. To remove off-type fruits without removing the plant it is a practice definitely to avoided, especially in the early stage of growth when the plant too is, is still in flower. Harvesting and extraction of seed. The seeds crop is ready for harvest when the fruits have turned pale yellow or golden. The seeds are obtained by cutting in individual fruit in half longitudinally and scraping them out with a knife. At the time of extraction, the seeds will not separate completely from the pulp surrounding it. Its adherence to these materials is broken by one of three methods. First, fermentations. B, mechanical means. C, chemical extraction. First, fermentations. In this method, the pulp of is poured into wooden barrels where it is allowed to ferment for several days. The fermenting materials is occasionally stirred to prevent and discolorations or blackening of seeds from mold which may form on the material floating at the surface. As the seeds separate from the disintegrating pulp, it is tends to sink to the bottom of the container. The seeds are then washed and dried in the sun to moisture contents below 7% before storage. Mechanical means seed can be extracted by use special machine also. In these machines, the fruits are not only cut and macerated but also the pulp is squeezed so that seed is forcibly separated from it. In this separation operations, considerable water is used for washing towards the end of the operations. Seed are later washed and dried to moisture content below 7%. Chemical extraction. Either an acid or an alkali may be used to speed up the extraction of cucumber seed. 100 cc of hydrochloric acid per 11 to 12 kg of pulp or 12 part of 25% technical grade ammonia per 100 parts of materials is thoroughly stirred into the pulp. After about 30 minutes, water is added while stirring. The pulp, other impurities and impurity seeds will float and mature seed will sink to the bottom. Later, the seeds are washed and dried to moisture content below 7%. Seed yield. The average seed yield may be vary from 110 to 130 kg per hectare. Hybrid cucumber seed production. Hybrid cucumber seed can be produced by hand pollination in the USA by gynomonoecious. Lines are being used for hybrid seed production. These lines produce two kinds of plant gynoecious, in which all flower are female, and monoecious, in which female are male and female flower occur separately on the same plant. To produce hybrid seed, the gynomonoecious line is used as female parent and planted adjustment to a selected monoecious variety at about the 10 node stage. All monoecious and intermediate plant are removed from the gynomonoecious line, leaving the gynoecious plants to bear hybrid seed. Muskmelon. Brief culture practices. 1. Time of sowing: February to March. 2. Seed rate: 3 to 4 kg per hectare. 3. Method of sowing: the seeds are sown after soaking them in water overnight in the manner similar to that described for cucumber. 4. Manures and fertilizers. The manures and fertilizer requirements are the same as those for cucumber. 5. Irrigation. The crop requires an abundance of moisture during the early part of vine growth. Once the melons are fully grown, watering should be avoided. 6. Thinning, same as described for cucumber. 7. Interculture. Regular interculture operations are necessary to keep weeds under control. 8. Insect and disease control, same as described from cucumber. Rogging. What has been said for rogging of cucumber applies equally to muskmelon. Any plant bearing off-type fruit should be destroyed as soon as observed so as to prevent its pollen from further fertilizing. Adjust plants with good type fruit. The plant and its entire crop of fruit rather than the individual fruits should be that the basic unit in the rogging operations. Further check the interior quality by cutting the fruit at the time of seed extraction. Harvesting and threshing of seed. Fruits are ready to harvest when the point of attachment with the stem shows a wide crack, full slip stage, and the seed is practically mature. It is advisable to wait until sufficient fruits ripen before harvesting. Fruits after picking are placed in piles. They are cut open by hand with a knife, and the seeds and pulp are scraped into a container. Later, the seeds are separated from the pulp either by fermentations followed by washing or by wash alone. The seeds after washing in water are dried quickly in the sun. Seed yield. Average seed yield varies from 200 to 300 kg per hectare. Watermelon. Brief culture practices. 1. Time of sowing: February to March. 2. Seed rate: 2.5 to 5 kg per cent hectare. 3. Sowing: seeds are sown in both sides of the canals. The canals are the irrigations, and the seeds are sown on the rise at a place above water level so that water is reissued by capillary movement. 2 to 3 seeds may be sown on each hill and subsequently thinned out. For spacing, 2 meters between canals and 1 meters between plants. 5. Fertilization. A. 30 tons farmyard manure at the time of the land preparations. B. A mixture of 125 ammonium sulfate or CAN, 150 kg superphosphate and 100 kg sulfate of potash may be prepared and mixed at 500 gram per pit while preparing the pits for sowing. C. Top dressing with 150 gram ammonium of CAN at the time of flowering. 6. Irrigations and intercultures. Irrigate the furrow lightly soon after sowing for good germinations. A good moisture supply is essential for proper development of fruits. Irrigate once in 10 days during spring and every week during the hot months when the plants have fully grown and the fruits are developed. A few more irrigations would be required for the rest of the seasons. Weeding and hoeing around the bases of the plants should be thoroughly attended to. 7. Plant protection measures. The most common and troublesome pests and watermelons are: A. Red pumpkin beetles. The pest can be controlled by dusting 5% malathion dust or spray with metacid 1 teaspoon in 1 bucket. Simple dusting with kerosinized assets also helps. B. Fruit fly. It can be checked by collecting and destroyed by affected fruits and spraying with Nuven half a teaspoon in 1 bucket. Rogging. Whatever has been said to cucumber and muskmelon applies equally well to watermelons. Such character as fruit shape and exterior color may be often be determined relatively yearly. Promoting rogging of type plants will reduce to some extent the contaminations of surrounding plants by off-type sporon. Again, the plant should be considered as a unit in the rogging operations. All the fruits on a plant should be considered as a group rather than chosen individually without relations to plant. Harvesting and extraction of seeds. Fruit are ready for harvest when they reach edible maturity. However, there is no harm in delaying the harvest for a few days or even a week or longer unless it is desired to examine flesh quality and flavors. The fruit picking should be done only by men familiar with plant and fruit types so that any previously unrecognized rogue may be removed. The fruits are placed in piles after picking. The fruits are cut open individually by hand, seize, scraped out and washed over a screen with clean water. Seed must be dried quickly after washing and stored in a cool, dry place. Seeded. The average seed is range from 200 to 250 kg per hectare. Squash, pumpkin, gourd, cashew and marrow. Brief culture practices. 1. Time of sowing: February to March, June to July. Second, seed rate 5 kg per hectare. 3. Sowing: the seeds are sown either on one side or both sides of the canals. The canals are irrigated and seeds are sown in rises at a place above water level so that the water is issued by capillary movement. In case of yearly sowings, sprouted seeds are sown on ridges. Two or three seeds may be sown on each hill and subsequently thinned out. For spacing 2 or meters between canals and 1 meters between plants. 5 fertilizations. 25 to 50 tons of farmyard manure at the time of fields preparations. B. A mixture of 125 ammonium sulfate or calcium ammonium nitrate 300 kg superphosphate and 100 kg sulfate of potash should be mixed at 500 gram per pit while preparing pits for sowing. C. Top dressing 125 kg ammonium sulfate or calcium ammonium nitrate CAN calcium ammonium nitrate at the time of flowering. 6. Irrigations and aftercare. The summer crop requires irrigations every third or fourth day. The number of irrigations for the rainy seasons would be depends upon the number of rainy days. The beds should be kept from of weeds, especially in the early stage. Later on, rapidly spreading vines smother the weeds. Frequent hoeings in the early stage are also desirable. 7. Plant protection measures. The most common and troublesome pests are A. Red pumpkin beetles. The pest can be controlled by regular hand picking of beetles early in the morning. Spray with metacids 1 teaspoonful in 10 liter of water. Simple dusting with kerosinized S also helps. B. Fruit fly. It can be checked by collecting and destroying the affected fruits in the early stage. Spraying with Nuven half a teaspoon in 10 liters of water also helps. Rogging. Off-type plants are usually detectable fairly early. In most of these cucurbits, bush type plants in a variety which normally has runner or vice versa are easily detected. Likewise, even in varieties with similar vines or early sap of the fruit and even the sap of the ovary at the flowering will sometimes reveal an off-type plants. Although some damage may be have already re, re, result, re, resulted from cross-pollination, such off-type plants should be immediately rogged. As in other vine crops, the entire plant should be considered as a unit. Through some minor injury, a fruit may be off sap, but if the plant from which it comes as well as the other fruits grown on it are all true to type, the seeds within the deformed fruits should be no less satisfactory and hence should be not be rejected. Harvesting and extraction of seeds. Seeds are ready to harvest when fruits redden and seeds inside the cell break readily from the pulp. Immature seeds adhere to pulp. Fruits are picked from plants and peeled. The fruits are cut in half and the seeds scooped out and the contents dried to the sun. The seeds are removed from the flesh by rubbing over a sieve, and finally winnowed to remove light matter. Seeds may be washed if necessary and dried in trays and stored in a cool, dry place. Seed yields. Average seed yields range from 300 to 500 kg per hectare. Thanks.